Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as it's Friday and this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy to watch video. As far as today's show does go, we're going to talk about why a certain AEW champion and one of their top stars has been missing the last couple of weeks. AEW is being sued over a mask. We're going to talk some behind the scenes news on Stephanie McMahon leaving WWE, Vince being back in the office, Royal Rumble, and so much more, because again, this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Every Monday and Friday morning, roughly between 11 and 11:30 a.m. Pacific, we talk wrestling news with all of you. We bring you the latest news in the world of professional wrestling, all here in one easy to watch or listen to video if you watch or listen later. Remember, you can follow this multiple different ways of the show, whether that's live, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or twitch.tv/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime or just access to anybody's Amazon Prime account, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and it always gives you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Just like today, we will be putting out our AEW 2023 Dynamite graphics packages and all that stuff that goes with it. Those will be going out later this afternoon. Those, what's it called? Oh, my mind just went blank. The graphics packages will go out for member subscribers or patreon.com/PW Unlimited subscribers, and everybody else will just get the tutorial. And it's basically all After Effects. I'm going to say that right now. It's all After Effects. I didn't use Photoshop. No, I didn't use Photoshop. It's all After Effects. All After Effects. But with that, also remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're buying a new game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse. Use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be directly supporting us at no extra cost. I've seen a lot of people this week using our code in Fortnite, so I really do appreciate that. Again, put in PWU NLIMITED at checkout to support us. It doesn't cost you anything but a couple of seconds to type it in. And with that, give me 1 second. I just got a message I need to check on. Oh, yeah, no, that's nothing. That's nothing. I was waiting for somebody to message me some news pertaining to the Rumble. And they messaged me, but it wasn't the Rumble news. But I do need to check one thing really fast, because we may have some breaking news. Give me 1 quick second. I'll ramble with you guys for a moment. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Okay, I got to check one last thing. Give me 1 quick second, guys. Because we might have something that no one else has reported on yet. I might have. Okay. This is interesting. Nope. Wrong thing. Nope, that's not what I want. That. There. Wait, is that? Nope, that's not. Okay, never mind. We don't have it yet. I'll just say it. I know somebody working construction inside the Alamo Dome. They said they will try to get me a photo of the stage if they can, but like, if anybody's on their phone for any reason, they're being questioned. So, like, they could try to take a picture, but they don't know if they're going to be able to. And they're like a lower level, what you would call in mechanics or construction, a gopher. So they're being watched at all times, being told, do this, do that, do this, do that. So they're always got something to do. So they're not like somebody that's just there that can just walk around or whatever. So yeah, but I'm waiting for them to see if they can get me a photo, if they can or not. So while we wait for that, if it even happens during this show, we're going to start talking the news. And one big news story we're going to talk about is why, well, 1/3 of the AEW Trios champions in Kenny Omega has been missing for the last couple of weeks. Now, before we get into the Fightful report here, we actually have to go back a couple of weeks to when they were in LA. When AEW was in LA, they had Game 7, Match 7, the ladder match for the Trios titles. That next week on BTE, AEW said that this match almost didn't happen because of a visa issue. Now, when they said that, everybody thought of everybody except for the person that it actually was. Everybody was like, oh, it had to be either Penta or Phoenix. Oh, maybe it was Pac from the UK. But nobody except me, maybe others, but not that I heard, were like, Kenny Omega. Could it be Kenny Omega? And well, it is Kenny Omega because AEW has had some issues with his visa. Fightful does report, quote, we're told Kenny Omega wanted to be there. And this is in regards to this week's AEW Dynamite with Mark Briscoe there and stuff. They said, but he's been battling visa issues. So with that, Kenny Omega has been missing from AEW television for the last couple of weeks because, well, he can't work in the States. He's from Winnipeg, Canada. And so that means, since he's not a quote-unquote U.S. citizen, he's got to get approved to actually work in the United States. Now, he could come, but he can't do anything in a work capacity. So I don't even know if Omega, what's the word I'm looking for, even was at the show or not. It doesn't sound like he was, but yeah. Kenny Omega has missed the last 2 weeks of AEW Dynamite, 2 weeks ago in Fresno, California, then this week in Lexington, Kentucky, because of a visa issue. And apparently, they almost didn't get the ladder match off in LA because of these visa issues. The Bucks said it. This was a hard week. The match almost didn't happen. And I think Meltzer reported visa issues, and they confirmed that, and they didn't say who. But yeah, Kenny Omega, there's not much more to this story, but Kenny Omega is missing right now from AEW television because of visa issues. But as we keep on talking about All Elite Wrestling, we also got to talk about AEW actually being sued because of Luchasaurus' mask. As reported by WrestleNomics, Composite Effects LLC, aka CFX, made a legal complaint that was dated December 20th, 2022 against All Elite Wrestling and Austin Madelson, also known as Luchasaurus. The lawsuit filed in the United States District Court the United States, this is a mouthful, United States District Court, Eastern District of Louisiana, claims that AEW and Madelson are using a copyrighted mask design for merchandising purposes without the permission of the designer. The designer states that even though it authorized Luchasaurus to use the mask as a performer, neither he nor AEW were authorized to create and or sell merchandise incorporating the design. The plaintiff wrote, quote, Madelson was entitled to use the mask. Madelson was entitled to use the mask as a wrestler, but neither he nor anyone acting on his behalf was entitled to create merchandise that incorporated the mask design. In support of the lawsuit, the plaintiff presented examples of the masks depicted in AEW merchandise advertising, including a design being seen on T-shirts and on action figures. The company claims that this infringes the copyright on its design. According to the complaint, Madelson worked with the design company around December 2016 to have a modified version of what the designer called the, quote, Viper silicone mask created. The mask design would be modified again in March 2019, adding horns to the mask. According to the email records included in the lawsuit filing, Composite Effects learned that Madelson signed with AEW in 2019 and would try to come to a licensing agreement with him. It was also reported that Composite Effects and AEW personnel communicated in February 2021 to create a new mask, which AEW bought the rights to and was shipped in August 2021. The new mask design, it is reported, was either not used or not used at all. In relation to the mask design, the contents of an email was included in the lawsuit, and in the email, Madison writes, quote, "Hey man, thanks for the work on the new mask, but after getting a look at it on my face, Tony and I agree my current mask is just too iconic at this point, and we can't change the face." Of course, the Tony in question is Tony Khan. The plaintiff asserts that they wrote further messages to AEW and Madison in 2022 asking them to stop the design or to come to a licensing agreement. No deal was made, and the design was still used on AEW merchandise. Composite Effects also included a written declaration from George Fangdikis, another designer, stating that Madison approached him in January 2022 to engage him in the design of a mask similar to the one which Composite Effects holds the rights for. According to Fangdikis' statement, Madison and an associate known as Jet wanted a, quote, near replica of CFX's custom designed mask. Fangdikis, or however you say this name, Fangdikis, stated, quote, "It was clear that there were legal issues that needed to be handled prior to my designing of a new mask for Madison. The designer would then offer to make a mask that didn't resemble the copyrighted CFX mask, but wouldn't be contacted again by either Madison or, quote, Jet. Composite Effects is seeking profits from AEW that have been made in relation to the alleged infringement, other damages sustainable as a result for such the attorney fees and so forth." So with that, basically what's happening here is they created the mask for Luchasaurus, but they didn't give Luchasaurus full rights to the mask, I guess you can say, because the mask they created for Luchasaurus was already I don't want to say ripoff, but so how this is really going is they had a mask made that they basically called their snake mask, their viper mask. Luchasaurus came to them liking the mask and said, "Can we make something similar to this for me, but make it more dinosaur," I guess you could say. Now, this is me just shooting off the cuff here. They said yes, but you're only allowed to use it in your matches. And then when AEW started making T-shirts and wrestling buddies and action figures and so forth with Luchasaurus wearing the mask, that's when they started having issues. When they're like, "Hey, we didn't say you can put this mask on merch," because, again, it is an offshoot of a mask they already own the rights to. It's just had some tweaks and changes to fit Luchasaurus. But in the end game, it's still kind of the same mask that they own the rights to. So that's what's going on here. We don't know exactly what's going to happen of this. Maybe there's going to be just some sort of slight settlement when we go forward. I don't know if Luchasaurus is going to have to get a new mask or not. We did see that he had a black version of the mask late in 2022. So I don't know when that mask was created, the black version, and who it was created by. But that's another interesting wrinkle here. But as we transition from talking all elite wrestling, we got WWE news. And we're going to talk about, well, Doudrop. Doudrop has been gone for some time now, and we finally do know exactly what's been going on. She at one point stated that she had been ill, but now she has revealed that it was COVID-related that has kept her off television. As previously reported, the WWE star revealed that the reason behind her absence was, well, an illness. But speaking with Denise Salcedo of Instinct Culture, Doudrop opened up about her health scare and possibly returning to the ring at the Royal Rumble, stating, "I'll be around. In what capacity? I'm not going to tell, but I'll be around. I've had some time off to deal with a health scare that I had. Luckily, that's all it was. It was just a scare. Everything was always great. Sadly, I got COVID really bad. The symptoms that I was having, they were concerned about my heart. God bless them. They took the best care of me. They got every test for my heart that they could muster, and every single one of them came back clean as a whistle. Much to some people's annoyance, my heart is in excellent condition. With that, Doudrop did have COVID-19 pretty badly, and that's very unfortunate. My father had COVID-19 very badly, and they do believe possibly it was a contributing factor to him suffering a heart attack that did lead to his passing back in November. So good on Doudrop for getting all the tests done. Good on Doudrop for knowing she was sick, going to the doctor, and figuring everything out. Because unfortunately, my dad hated doctors, didn't go to the doctor, and that's why they think that the COVID kind of contributed to the heart attack for him. Because he didn't go to the doctor. They didn't diagnose it or anything until, well, after it was way too late and he passed. But this is not a sad story. This is a great story, and Doudrop is good. Doudrop is reportedly cleared. She's in San Antonio. I have been told by people that have seen her, hey, Doudrop's here. So is she going to be in the Rumble? When she told Denise, I'm going to be around in some capacity, but I'm not going to tell, that basically means, yeah, you're one of the 30 in the Rumble. You're most likely one of the 30 in the Women's Royal Rumble. But speaking of women and women that can be in the Women's Royal Rumble, it is also being reported that WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix may be in the Rumble. Per a new report from WrestlingNews.co, they do state that Beth Phoenix is scheduled to be in attendance for the Royal Rumble event. Now, they don't go on to really state if Beth is going to be in the Rumble or not, but they do state, quote, Beth is scheduled to be at the Rumble, but WWE sources have not indicated if she will be in the Women's Rumble or if she'll just be backstage. There have been talks about Beth wrestling again. As of last month, there were plans penciled in for Beth and Edge to team up against the team of Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag team match at Elimination Chamber in Montreal. Given how much things have changed in recent weeks, like the, well, Hell in a Cell match not taking place at Royal Rumble as once reported, it is not guaranteed that the mixed tag team match will be happening next month as well, but we should know more soon in the next few days possibly, as that direction should start to grow next week on Raw. With that, Beth Phoenix is going to be at the Royal Rumble. We just don't know in what capacity. They need 30 women. Beth is always down to jump into a Rumble, as we've seen in the past, so I don't see why they couldn't use Beth Phoenix in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Last year, she wasn't in the Rumble match because of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Ms. Maurice match. So, she can get a Rumble match last year. Maybe she can get in the Rumble match this year. Speaking of people that can be returning for the Rumble, one person that's been gone for a while, well, that's Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle has been out for quite some time and is being reported that, well, he's done with rehab and could be returning sometime soon. According to Dave Meltzer, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer wrote the following. Matt Riddle, who was out of rehab, got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt this past week, training under Daniel Gracie. Riddle was announced as returning in 6 weeks after his, quote, injury at the hands of Solo Sikoa on the December 12th edition of Raw. That indicated a Rumble return most likely 6 weeks from December 12th. Although, if he's suspended for 2 months, he wouldn't be back in time for the Rumble. Because remember, this is supposed to be Riddle's second suspension. First suspension, 30 days. Second suspension, 60 days. So, if they're under that bylaw of WWE, Riddle couldn't be back in time for the Rumble, but should be back sometime soon. It'd be great to see Matt Riddle back in the Rumble. They said he was only going to be out for 6 weeks. And so that leads one to believe that maybe it's not a 2-month suspension. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow. 15, 16 names have been announced for the Rumble as of this morning. Maybe they announced more since I looked last. I don't know. So they've got enough open spots for surprises, and Riddle, fans would pop big for Riddle returning in the Rumble. I'm just going to say that right now. So leading up to the Royal Rumble, we had Raw 30, Raw XXX. And on that show, we were supposed to get the Bloodline acknowledgement ceremony. When things kind of fell domino-wise for that show, Fonseca couldn't make it, Rikishi got sick, they changed the segment. Well, it sounds like WWE was reaching out to multiple NOIE member families, some even in other companies, and ended up getting a cease and desist because of it. According to the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer writes the following. MLW sources have said that they have sent a cease and desist letter to WWE after the promotion attempted to contact some of its contracted talent to appear on the Raw 30th anniversary show. One would think that it would be members of the Anoa'i family and the Fatu family for the planned family acknowledgement ceremony, which ended up falling through. MLW sources stated that Court Bauer told them to have WWE reach out to them directly and didn't say if he would or not allow them to appear, just to go through him. They never did, and the segment ended up being canceled anyways for the reasons noted before. WWE didn't respond to question regarding the cease and desist claim, so there we go. WWE was reaching out to people of the Anoa'i family, the Fatu family. One would think maybe that's Jacob Fatu to appear on the show, and they reached out, I guess you could say, personally instead of professionally, going through MLW, and MLW got mad, so they sent him a cease and desist. Cease and desist is probably not going to go anywhere. It's probably not going to lead to anything, but it's just interesting because I want to think, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, second cease and desist MLW has sent to WWE. I want to say this might be the second one. So we'll have to wait and see exactly if anything comes of it. I don't believe anything will. So, yeah. We did get an image from inside. Whoa. Hold on. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I've just got an image sent to me from inside Alamo Dome. So now I need to check something really fast. Just to double check on this. The WrestleMania sign has been hung. The WrestleMania sign has been hung, but I'm trying to double check just to make sure this is a legit photo. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I want to just double check before I show the image because there's something just slightly off. It's not from my source in the building. So that's why I'm triple checking on this really quickly. So before I get to that, I'm going to wait on that confirmation to come back. Actually, I can do one thing myself. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this might not be legit. This might be from the CG fake deal that's been going around made by Coast to Coast. So that's what I thought this was. So this might not be the legit thing. Okay. I'm going to hold off on that. As we move forward, maybe not. WWE showed their hands on what could be the IC title match for the upcoming WrestleMania 39 event. Now, there's been a couple of different things with Gunther going forward. Some have said that maybe he faces Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, yet Sheamus is teasing challenging Gunther once again for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Speaking on this week's WWE The Bump, Sheamus discussed his rivalry with Gunther, noting that his goal is to defeat Gunther for the title at WrestleMania 39. Sheamus stated, quote, "So, we're talking about the Royal Rumble, but all that's been on my mind for the past couple years is the Intercontinental Championship. I've already gone toe-to-toe with Gunther twice. My vision board this year, my goal this year is to take on Gunther one more time and end the trilogy at WrestleMania and become the first ever WWE Ultimate Grand Slam champion. I've been so close lately with the boys at my side over the past year, but this is still my goal. This is still the goal for me. Royal Rumble aside, anything else aside, that is the last piece of my ultimate Grand Slam championship that nobody else has ever achieved in this company. That's all I care about. So when we think, what is the ultimate Grand Slam champion? Because we know Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion. That's WWE title. That's IC title, US title, tag titles. That's all of that. The 4. But Sheamus has another added wrinkle to this, where he's only missing one thing when you add in Rumble and Money in the Bank. Now, Miz is only missing one thing too in the ultimate, and that's Royal Rumble. Well, Sheamus is ready to win a Rumble. He won a Rumble 2012, maybe? I can be corrected on that. I could be wrong on that date. He won Money in the Bank when he cashed in 2015 on Roman. So all he needs is the IC title to be the first ultimate Grand Slam champion. Again, him and Miz are right there as far as they only need one thing. Well, hold on. No. I must be thinking, am I missing something? Seth Rollins would be an ultimate Grand Slam champion if this is the case, unless I'm missing something. Ultimate Grand, what can, now I need to look something up. Ultimate WWE Grand Slam. Because what makes an ultimate WWE Grand Slam champion? Now is the question. Because if we're thinking world title, IC, US, tag, Rumble, Money in the Bank, well, ain't that Seth? Seth's won all 6 of those. King of the Ring. Thank you. Who said it in the chat? Banana. King of the Ring. That's it. Okay. That's what I was forgetting. King of the Ring. So Miz has got 2 things he needs. The King of the Ring and the Rumble. There's what it is. There's what it is. Okay. King of the Ring. That's what I was forgetting. So, if Sheamus is teasing something here, could we be getting Sheamus and Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title? That would be a great WrestleMania match. I think as good as their match at Clash of the Castle was, this could be just as good, if not better. So, yeah, I'm all for it. If this is the IC title match at WrestleMania, Gunther defending once again against Sheamus, and Sheamus winning the title of WrestleMania. I think that's awesome to see Sheamus do it at WrestleMania, win the IC title, and become the first ever Ultimate Grand Slam champion. There's one person that might be at WrestleMania this year, not in an official capacity or anything, as far as an executive with the company, and that's Stephanie McMahon, who walked away a few weeks ago. Now, we have a little more info on Stephanie leaving the WWE. On January 10th, 2023, it was announced that Stephanie McMahon had resigned from WWE as far as being chairwoman of the board and co-CEO of the company. Her official statement read, quote, "I've decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation." Now, Dave Meltzer has provided some new details on her reason as what is believed to be the reason backstage in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, as Meltzer stated the following. The story initially as to why Stephanie really left is that, and this comes from those unhappy that she left, is that she had done a great job thrown into the co-CEO role, and with Vince back, was about to be demoted. And basically, she doesn't need the money in the job and had already decided last year to take leave away. Of course, the difference between a leave and staying on the board and a full break and leaving the board indicates that this was a lot stronger of a move. Basically, the belief backstage was that once Vince came back into some sort of power, Stephanie was no longer going to be chairwoman and most likely, possibly, not going to be co-CEO anymore. And so instead of basically the company demoting her in an official capacity, she decided to demote herself, if that's the right way to say it, and just leave and say, you know what? To save face, I'm just going to walk out and say I'm done. Which is kind of smart on her to be like, I know what's about to happen here. My father's about to get voted back as chairman of the board, which means I'm no longer chairwoman, which means I've been usurped. And instead of it looking bad on me as far as, oh, So they didn't trust you for that role, so they replaced you. No, she took it upon herself to step down and walk away first, which is very, very smart on her and very, very like forthcoming, if that's the right term and word to use. Speaking of Vince has been spotted back in the office. It was reported yesterday that Vince McMahon was spotted at Titan Towers. Well, many thought, oh no, Vince is back. Oh, he's going to take over and he's going to fire Triple H. No. I saw a lot of people freaking out online for no apparent reason. Yes, Vince may be back in his office because he's chairman of the board. He's working on a sale. And to do so, maybe he doesn't want to always work from home. Maybe he doesn't want to do that from his home. Maybe he wants to do that in the office. Maybe they're doing some talks about the sale and he needed to meet directly with Nick Khan or other members of the board or anybody else involved in these talks. And so, yes, Vince has been spotted back at the office, but it's nothing to get a tizzy on. It's nothing to get your panties in a bunch about. It's nothing to freak out on, because it was nothing other than, well, yeah, he's got an office there. Yeah, he's chairman of the board. And yeah, he's actually got work to do. He's not taking over creative yet, or right now. He's got other things to worry about, aka a sale. Dave Meltzer did write the following about this in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, stating, as for Vince, there is a difference in him at the office between the Vince now and the Vince before. He is genuinely working on the sale and hasn't been to any television shoots yet, nor at any creative meetings. It was noted to us that Vince, who was at the office all night and sometimes in the early mornings, it's not the case at this point, as he leaves work now at a normal time since his duties are lessened. Most notably, the long creative meetings no longer really happening. But even on nights without long creative meetings, the old Vince would be in the office until very late at night. So there we go. Again, Vince is there working on stuff pertaining to the sale, not slowly creeping in, trying to take over creative. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. I saw so many people freaking out online yesterday. Oh my God, Vince is at the office. Yeah, so? And? It's nothing. It's nothing. So now, it's basically everything we have for you. Shorter episode of the wrap-up. But I do want to state that the last thing I'm going to talk about could be a potential spoiler for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. So I'm going to put the spoiler graphic up on the screen right here. And we're going to talk about somebody who might be appearing on tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds, and then we'll start talking about it. Either mute the show if you're watching right now. If you're watching live, mute it if you don't want to know. Or just fast forward if you don't want to know. Time codes will be in the description if you're watching later. But this graphic up here will go off when we're done talking about the spoilers. I just wanted to give you guys enough heads up in case you don't want to be spoiled. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk the spoiler. According to Mike Johnson over at PWU Insider, Johnson does report that Brock Lesnar is actually slated to be at tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. It's unclear if Brock will actually be appearing on tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, but this gives a good indication for a couple of different things. That A, Brock may be on the show because, well, Brock's not going to go to a show if he's not going to be on the show. And B, Brock most likely appearing in tomorrow's Royal Rumble. Now, we don't know for sure if Brock Lesnar is going to appear in the Royal Rumble or not, but why would he be at SmackDown? To maybe call out Bobby Lashley again, but that's a Raw thing. To announce that he's going to be in the Rumble, maybe, or they keep him a surprise. Regardless, Brock Lesnar is said to be backstage tonight for SmackDown, and it's most likely pertaining to the Rumble. Three, 2, 1. Spoiler is done. Graphic is off. And that's all we got. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up the wrap-up. So with that, guys, tonight is Friday Night SmackDown. We will be reviewing that show. As far as tonight's Friday Night SmackDown does go, a few things have been announced. So let's pull that up on the screen right here. WWE has announced 4 things pertaining to tonight's SmackDown. Right now, we do know that Kevin Owens will be going one-on-one with Solo Sikoa. We also do know that Rey Mysterio will be taking on Karrion Kross. In a second-round match in the SmackDown No. 1 Contenders Tag Team Tournament, the team of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will be taking on Hit Row. And in a tournament match, Imperium will be taking on Legado del Fantasma. With that, guys, that is everything that has been announced for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. Why won't that go off the screen? There we go. That's everything that has been announced for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. Again, we will be live following SmackDown as far as that show does go, reviewing it and talking Rumble and this and that. So yeah, as far as Fonzie's question, are you doing Rumble predictions? It's going to work one of two different ways. We're either going to do Rumble predictions during the SmackDown review, or our Rumble predictions will be part of our Rumble preview tomorrow morning. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do that. I got to get with Luke on that one first, but we'll go from there. You guys will know when our Rumble predictions will be up during tonight's SmackDown broadcast, or not broadcast, but review, whether it's going to be part of that review or if it's going to be part of our preview in the morning. I think most likely preview in the morning. So we're going to do like preview, predictions, final betting odds type of thing. This is what I'm thinking. So just want to give it to Luke and see how he wants to do it as well, because we're a collaborative effort here. I don't just tell him what to do when he does it. We bounce ideas. So with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. If you're watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or if you're listening later on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. So with that, guys, we'll see you back tonight for SmackDown, and then tomorrow for the Royal Rumble. Have a good one, guys.